Hello everyone. So recently I've been invited back to an SMP. Well, it's less of an invitation and more so that they really would prefer that I am there. You know, they like me. They appreciate me. They love me, you could say. Anyway, so I did speak about me being, quote, mocked. So someone within the SMP was like, oh, well, you're not a god, yada, 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 yada. And I warned everyone. I said, if you guys are going to sit here and try to tell me who I'm not, whether that be you tell me I'm not human, you tell me this, you tell me that, or whatever. And I already told you that's not cool. I don't like it. You're crossing very, very big boundaries, especially when you try to tell me who I am. When you try to tell me that I'm not a god, you're crossing humongous boundaries that you should not want to cross. And so basically, I said, y'all only get one, okay? And I learned recently that maybe I should have patience with everyone and not blame it on one particular person. And so that's kind of just been the running thing as of recently that I have just kind of dealt with, you know? Now, of course, there are other things that have happened. There are other things that I need to talk about. And it's a lot. I'm going to say right now that it's a lot. It's a bit much. And like, you could say, well, maybe you should be nicer and this and that and all these different things. Of course, I am nice. I set my boundaries. Did they cross them? Yes. And so really, I'm just like, am I wrong? I do feel bad that I made everyone feel sad. So I will be joining back in the SMP. Okay? I will be talking about the SMP. I will be giving insight on the SMP, introducing you to each of the members. Yes, I will be introducing you to each of the members and all that stuff and cementing my place within the SMP. They found me randomly because they really think I'm interesting. I am. Yeah. Now, I recently finished one album. I'm working on the other one. And I feel like I want to finish all of them. And then, do what I have to do, and all the marketing and everything. Recently, I got really excited about the arts in the world. But anyway, yeah, I've been doing so much art, and I will be doing today the flaming horse for the Lunar Year New. Yeah. Ohio to all my Asian, Japanese viewers. Hajimemashite, donzu, yoroshiku. I hope you all are doing well. Please be nice to me. And so, yeah. So hi everyone. If you're new here, you don't know me, I am good this a Phefowkoi Luntrati. And I am a bit of an anomaly, you could say. Was I born on this earth? Yes, but it's very complicated and people don't like that it's complicated. So you can call me a anomaly if you want. Anyway, I just wanted to make some food because lunch is coming around, and so yeah. So I recently, groceries were bought. My father sent some money. So I've been making this yummy popsicle thing, so I can stab it, and then kind of have like some popsicle ice cream, you know? And also I got some hot dogs and like some pot pies and stuff. So very simple things. Usually I like to cook my food, but I'm not allowed to use the stove because I accidentally slightly burned food 2 times. But don't we all? That doesn't mean you should be banned from using the stove. I can cook. It's just sometimes I will fall asleep because I'm very tired and I forget. But anyway, yes, I am going to do that. So, I'm thinking hot dogs. So recently, I thought about a lot of things and a lot of people that are currently in my life, including love interest. And I'm saying I quote because they kind of just, it's a problem. I'm mostly talking about the men and some of the people like my friends. So recently I've talked about multiple times about love and what's been going on, and I like to give you guys a little insight on what's going on. Now within my relationships, if they're going well, you know, I'm not gonna tell on that, you know, like if I'm gulping or anything, you know. But like, I will tell the bad only if things would be good advice for you in your relationships, or if everything ends up bad and we end up breaking up. So recently I broke up with my ex, Silas. He was very cold. You know, hearing him say I love you for the first time felt amazing. Never have I ever told a lover, in this world at least, from what I remember, that I love them, and they haven't said it back. And that's really been the case with my love life, whether they ended poorly or not, is that they tend to say they do love me. I mean, sometimes maybe they don't mean it. And sometimes I think he didn't really mean it, but I'm not him. How am I supposed to know what he thought? I probably will never get the chance to know. Maybe I might text him today and see. Yes, I still have contact with him. I told him things may never be the same, but if he still loves me, maybe. But anyway, so that didn't end well because of our conjoined friend group. You know, we had the same friends. I'm no longer friends with them for the reason that I prefer, because I felt entirely disrespected. I felt entirely disregarded. He also disregarded me, mind you. making an excuse like I told you guys before, that he made an excuse saying, oh, this is just the way I am, I'm rebellious, this and that. But that doesn't mean you don't respect your girlfriend. When she says, I don't want to hear that kind of stuff, or I don't like that, because that's very political, but that's also very emotionally tied to most of the population. I don't like that because I don't want to be I don't want to, like, imagine if we were in public and we were at a restaurant and say we were sitting at the table with our friends and he so happens to crack a joke in public that is extremely controversial to the point nearly half the people that are closest to us are looking at us, including me. Like, I agree. Like, I find it funny. That's like being seen with someone who's stealing, you know? And I'm not saying, oh, it's super bad to have, you know, dark jokes or whatever. I don't mind dark jokes. I even told him that I don't mind the rebellious, you know? There's some jokes I do like and some jokes I won't. And I'll tell you if I don't like something. I told him that I will say something if I don't like it, right? And he didn't listen, you know? And so we broke up. More so, he broke up with me, and I was just like, just go. If you really want to go. He chose to go. So I'm assuming he really, really, really doesn't love me. And so asking him, does he or did he, probably won't even matter now. I still will try because I'm just that girl. Anyway, so recently, I had two guys that kind of, one wanted to be a side piece, and the other wanted to, you know, they just asked me a question, and I said, no, I'm not single, but it's nice that you think of me, you know, that's nice that you magically found me, you know. Very sweet guy. He also plays the same game that I extremely love. We will be playing together. Maybe we might form a connection then, I don't know, you know, a little bit of bonding. But I recently had to deal with both of those guys, and I was like, what is up with you two? One of them was in the hospital. I don't know if he still is. I don't even know if he's alive because he didn't say not one word, didn't even call me, did nothing, you know, didn't answer my calls. He doesn't answer my calls. You know, I told him that I'm shy because usually people don't answer my calls for him. Usually people don't call me. And so that's why I haven't called him. He was like, why are you scared to call me? And I was like, because I don't think you'll pick up. And guess what? He doesn't pick up. Right? Tell me. Number one in the comments, if you're one of the girls who's very sweet, very nice, and you call your love of interest, and you're like, well, how's your day going? Are you okay? Like if they're in the hospital or they're sick, you know, they told you, and they don't answer, or you try to call them, you're like, you know what? Okay, maybe I'll call you, or whatever, you know, like the next day, they don't answer, and you're just like, oh. And you begin to realize what's going on. And then the other guy, recently, I had to let him know. I said, look, if you are going to ignore me, right? If you're going to ignore me, and if you're going to not say, oh, I'm doing good, oh, I'm doing this, or whatever, it's really going to like make this feel weird, but also make me think like, oh, so he came to me, but then he doesn't want to like, you know what I mean? He doesn't want to like, so I'm like, okay, I'm wasting my time. But I was like, you know what, let me give him a chance. Maybe he's just like, he feels some type of way. And I said, look, if you feel some type of way about how you approached me, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't exactly like your first impression, but I liked that you very nice, you know, whatever, you know, you were respectful and whatnot. But I don't like that you're not answering my text messages. Okay, you're literally sitting here playing video games and you're not answering my text messages, you know, or whatever time that you have, you could have at least said, oh, I'm doing good. Okay, fabulous, he's doing great, right, you know? You didn't have to send me a whole paragraph. Oh my god, my day was this, and I had hot dogs, and I had this. You didn't have to do that if you didn't feel like you're in the vibe. And so after texting him that, he was like, oh, well, I just have been hanging out with a lot of friends, like 7 to 8 people, and also I feel bad about how I like approached you, and so I didn't want to say anything. That's your excuse for ignoring me? I literally told him, I said, look, that shouldn't be an excuse to ignore me unless like you were drunk at a party or whatever. Like say for instance, you were dating me and like you were at a club and like I texted you and then you were probably drunk or you were dancing all night and you're probably tired. Okay, I understand that you were with your friends, you were out partying, you know, and it's okay. I'll wait till the morning, like when he's up, you know, so he can text me or call me, you know what I mean? FaceTime. And I'm starting to realize the men in my generation that I've been born into, they just can't take a hint. Whether you like them or you don't, they can't take a hint. They come asking for you, but then they don't want you. They don't want you. For some reason, like, and it's not that. In my case, well, besides the other guy probably, he said he's not so sure if he likes me. But this guy, he didn't say if he likes me still or if he doesn't, but I told him, I said, look, if you want to have any kind of relationship with me, whether that be friend or girlfriend, you need to not ignore me just because you feel bad or just because you hung out with 6 or 7 people. Like, unless you guys were drunk or something, or you were like extremely tired and went to bed and then you woke up and texted me, that's fine. And so yeah, love, am I right? Interest, am I right? That's a whole different can of worms. We will be creating the flaming horse. I will be creating my own style so that it suits me and it's kind of like a lucky charm for this year. The flaming horse. All for me. Of course I can share it with you guys, but it's for me. Yes. I do wish to visit Japan someday, and I do hope that you treat me nicely. Okay? I'm not one of those foreigners who's gonna come with like 10,000 of my friends and probably ruin the peace, even though I did hear that Japanese people can be very loud, especially when they're with their groups. So it's kind of hypocritical, but I will of course come and celebrate with you. So if I come to a bar or somewhere, or maybe I'll go to like a handsome guy bar, or and then probably go to a cat bar, and then like go places and visit the little itty bitty tiny shops, maybe in rural areas, I don't know. And yeah, so yeah, someday I'll be seeing you in Japan. But for now, I celebrate the Lunar New Year with you from afar, across the sea. I'm gonna make my lunch and we'll be right to it. Hiya, everyone. So I just started immediately, ASAP, working on the art piece. I'm not really sure because I have not drawn horse or anything horse-like in a very long time. So if it don't look good, don't get all mean and be like, oh, it looks ugly. Stop it. Be nice to the horsey. You know? Anyway, but yeah, I really like how it looks at the end. But I started with the nose. I wasn't really sure what to do. I was a bit honest, like confused. I was like, how do I do this head? So I decided to do a little trick, and I did the whole head and the ears, and it seemed to work fabulously, some might say. So I stuck with that, and that's what I did. Famously enough, I usually always start with the head, no matter what I'm drawing. So, hey, you might pick up a few kind of things like that from me, learning from me and stuff, you know? You might be drawing your heads first too. Uh, but yes, I started doing some of the body. I really should have grabbed a reference of a horse so I could work on those front legs, but hey, next time is always the next time. There's always more time, and sometimes there's not, you know, because I could just die someday. But yeah, I just stuck with what I knew. I went for what I knew, what I understood about horse anatomy, and I tried to mimic it slightly, but not too much because I knew it would not turn out well since I didn't exactly entirely know exactly entirely what I was doing, right? And some of us have to do that when we're drawing, you know, especially if we haven't drawn something for a very long time. Like me, for instance, I haven't drawn people, characters, or animals for a very long time. So updating this horse, flaming horse, over time would be such a great experience, knowing that I can still do what I always do. So I went in with more of the body. I was a bit like, oh my gosh, you know. I was clenching my face, my mouth, like, But you know, I did what I had to do, right, right. Uh, I did start putting the mane. You noticed that I like was doing the mane and stuff. Maybe I'm talking too fast. I can't tell because I can barely see my screen. So, like I said, I won't be joining the SMP that I talked about because of technical difficulties. If you saw and if you were actually watching the video and maybe you were sleeping, at least I'm going to explain why now. Technical difficulties. So my screen, it looks crazy right now. Um, it yeah, it's not pretty. Also, there's a piece of it hanging off on one of the sides. Like this phone is such low quality. It's a surprise that my other phone looks in much better condition than this one. And I'm starting to realize every time I get a bigger phone that's low quality, it never lasts in the way that I think. And so, like, yeah, I feel like these new phones need to be made out of something different. You know what I mean? Because, like, my other phone, it's fine. You know, it has a few black splotches across the screen, but, like, it works fine. It's very pretty. It does what it has to do. And my friend, for instance, just texted me, what the hell? Yeah, because I sent them a short 8-minute, 8-second video of like how the phone looks right now. I'll probably show you guys that next time, but it's damn weird. When I say it's weird, oh my gosh. I mean, maybe I could put it up on the screen. Let's see. And if I don't put it on the screen, that means I don't have the video or it's not backed up. Anyways, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. I'll probably show you guys another time how it looks currently. I have plenty of time to do that. But it's wild. It's actually ridiculous. I mean, I can still play Minecraft, you know, and I can still do other things. I can still play other games, but it's gonna be slightly harder for me to edit and slightly harder for me to like text my friends or whatever on this phone in which I'm also editing this video on right now. But like, you know, I can see very well. Like, it's a good thing I have good eyes. Otherwise, I would be out of luck. Um, the screen kind of just vibrates all the way up and all the way down, but I can see, so it's not too much. I have to be very delicate with this phone now. I told my dad, I said, now I have to leave my phone on my bed or on a surface where it can't fall or anything because I feel like once it does, it's over. And I need this phone, so I'm gonna be very cautious with it. And I have been very careful. I smacked it softly earlier, not hard, but I started to. Now I realize this phone screen is so fragile. Like it's extremely fragile. My other phone doesn't have that problem. I mean, it's a bit more fragile because it's small. It's not made out of the greatest material. But if I go like this, listen, it doesn't. It doesn't do what this phone has done. If I do that, soft little tap tap tap, and not I'm not punching it or doing anything crazy, it's fine. But I guess this phone is like lower quality. It looks higher quality, but it's lower quality. Whatever. As you can see, I started on the body. I gave so her name is Grace Lee, and I thought it would be nice to give her that name because when I thought of her, I thought of Grace for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why. So I decided to name her Grace Lee. Now, what color is she? What color mane she has and all that stuff? I don't really know yet. We're gonna figure that out. You guys will find out along the way as I draw her more in the future and just bring her to life. And I will be learning animation, so you might or might not see her being animated. You'll love it either way. But I started doing her mane. I know it looks like, oh my god, I'm just doing wiggly lines. But if you get what I'm trying to do, if you see the vision, press one. Because I'm telling you, I literally, I really like it. So I was like, okay, I want her to be this flaming horse, but in the literal, but non-literal, but literal sense. So she's like in between, She's kind of like hippocampus. Yes. And okay, no one can copyright this species, honey, and think, oh, I'm gonna put what do you call it? A patent behind it. No, baby. This is my species. I created it. It's not done. So don't think, oh my gosh, it's not done. So of course I can expand on it and make it mine. No, no. You can do that. You can draw variations, draw your own stallion of the flaming horse in my design. If you want, I welcome that. But don't take it. Never try to steal someone's art. But anyway, I really leaned into the idea, of a hippocampi shaped kind of body, but it's not a hippocampi. You know what I mean? So I found it very, very beautiful. And like a constellation, I have to give this horse breed a new name. And someday I will. It's a new discovery, everyone. But yeah, this is the flaming horse for the Lunar New Year. She's very pretty. I really love her. I wasn't expecting to do something like her, but hey, Grace Lee is a bit special to me now. I really do like her. The thing about editing is that you can't go on a whole ramble because you have other parts of the video and I forgot. But yeah, this is Grace Lee, the flaming horse of this new Lunar New Year. My flaming horse to bring me luck for the rest of the year, joy, and grace. Alongside me, we will burn bright. Cheers to the year of the flaming horse. Thanks to everyone for joining. And as I finish up, I'll leave it here. Thanks you girls for being here, whether ghosts or part of my heart. I appreciate you, huh? And I'll be seeing you all very, very soon. As I was saying, let my diamonds dazzle, my plumage stream, and my pearls strip like misty mornings do. Let love rain, fly and shine. And I'll be seeing you all again in another one.